Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? We got us a crazy show today, man. Welcome to the Football Frame of Mind podcast, man. My name is Brandon. There's my co-host Cam, and we have got a lot of really good content for you guys. We're going to be continuing our breakdowns. We've already done the SEC. We've already done the Big Ten. Today we are going to delve into the ACC, the Atlantic Coastal Conference. But before we go any further, don't forget that top right-hand corner, man. Check out Dogs TV. We doing all right today, Cam?
We doing good. We doing good, man. We live. It's Sunday. You know the drill. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Run those likes up. The socials are at the bottom, man. Let's get it. Follow, subscribe, all of that, man. All of that. So, we are good. We're good now. Sharing it everywhere, man. So we good. We good. We good, man. So, excited to do this show, man. Like I said, Sundays are really awesome because we get to talk football, man. We get to talk football, and it's really awesome, man. So today is a good day. We continue our preseason breakdown of college football conferences, man. And today is the lucky day for the ACC, man. So we breaking down the ACC, man. But we always like to start off with some news, man. Um, Today we lost another good football player, man. Jacoby Jones of the Ravens. He played with the Texans as well. Passed away. Had a really good career. Primarily a special teamer, man. But man, he was a good one. Sad day, man. 3 days after his 40th birthday, man. That's wild to me. But as a Ravens fan, it definitely hurt a little bit, man, because he was definitely instrumental in that last Super Bowl we got. So it felt really, really sad, man. Plus, he was always doing work in Baltimore and everything. So that's a sad one, man. So send your condolences. We can send our condolences and prayers to Jacoby Jones, his friends and family. So tough one, man. But some not so sad news. What? Just plug it back in, dude. Just plug it back into the wall. I apologize, people. Just plug it back into the wall. That's it. Jesus, man. You got a brain. Use it. If it's unplugged, plug it back in. Jeez. Whatever, man. Kids. Anyway, but there's some happier news, man. Um, I find it interesting that it's a couple players that were announced for the College Football Hall of Fame, man. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on these players, man. One player we followed a lot, and people would pretty much know this guy. We talk about Justin Blackman, man. Um, Really good receiver from Oklahoma State, man. Had some off the field troubles in the NFL, man. But college, he was that guy, man. You see at the bottom, man, 3,000 yards receiving, over 40 touchdowns, and caught over 250 passes. Really good player, man. Sad we couldn't get the full scope of him in the NFL, but that's okay, man. He gave us a lot of highlights in college, man, and he was really good, man. Worth being picked fourth overall, man. So definitely one of those guys, man. The next guy that kind of not surprised me, but surprised he wasn't in there to begin with, man. We talking about let's see, I got it right here. We're talking about Paul Puslesny from Penn State, man. Another great player, man. He had a really good career, man. All American, a lot of tackles. He really good, man. He went second round to the Bills, I believe. Uh, when he first got drafted, which was really cool. Had a nice career, man. I thought it would be a first rounder, honestly, because he was just that good. I'm like, you could just plug him in and play anywhere. But those are two guys on the list that I saw that were really good, man. And lastly, I wanted to get your thoughts on this, man. So there's the rumor going around that the college football Hall of Fame is going to put Mike Leach in there as an exemption simply because
Mm-hmm.
he didn't have
The
the
winning percentage, I think.
winning percentage, but
Yeah.
his impact on college football is felt to this day. And I want to get your thoughts on that. How do you feel about them actually going forward with it, or at least discussing it?
So before I even get into that, much respect and love for Mike Leach. Mike Leach had a very special part in my heart because I grew up obviously in the SEC, but I was a big Texas Tech fan kind of when I was a kid. So a lot of Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree. He innovated offense in college football to the T, man. Air raid, air it out, man. Mike Leach was unstoppable on the offense. I'm glad they made an exception though, because come
Me
on, man,
too.
his impact, like without Mike Leach, man, the college football landscape, especially from the offensive side of the ball, looks completely different. He innovated offense, especially those big wide out, 5 wide offenses that they were running with Tech and Washington State and Mississippi State, obviously, most recently. I'm glad they made an exception, man, because I feel like the NCAA, they're typically pretty hard up about stuff like this, but I'm glad they were to make an exception because, man, Mike Leach is a legend, man. Just because his win percentage may not have been to their standard, his impact on the game and his impact on his players and the sports world as a whole, like you can't ever go wrong. Yeah, what he did at Tech, man, it was amazing. Even that huge win they had against Texas with that last play with Crabtree, man, it's legendary. That sums up
Legendary.
like how great they were, man. They were unstoppable on offense,
Yep.
man. That Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree connection was unreal. That's some of the best football I remember watching as a kid for sure.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. I agree. I think there's a I think there's a lot that people forget how good he was, man. But honestly, I remember him at Texas Tech. But what he did at Washington State, I felt like
Mm-hmm.
that was the real job to me. You know, because Washington State was in a bad spot before he got there, and then he just fixed it. So I felt like Washington State was definitely his real stamp on what he did. And then he came to the SEC after all that time away. I felt like he should have been in the SEC because he might have actually looked up and got an SEC championship depending on where he went because the league wasn't ready for that. And you've seen how Mizzou came in there really good. Imagine what he could have done, you know. But he did a lot of good. He did a lot of good at Mississippi State, and beat a couple teams he wasn't supposed to beat, you know. And he did good, man. So I hope he really gets in there, man, because he deserves it, man. More than people actually realize. So,
Agreed.
but that's it for the news, man. We try to keep the news down. We don't really like to make it a news show. But I guess when we get into the season, it might be kind of a news thing, right? As we got, people getting injured after the game, then we got to preview things like that. But, not much news at this point in the season. Everybody's kind of getting ready for the season. So, but let's get into today's topic, man, and that is the ACC, man. Should be fun. Let's see what we got here. ACC breakdown. It's time to do the do, right? We need a Mountain Dew sponsorship, man. So if you're out there, we got to
If
get
you
that.
guys are watching, definitely hook us
We
up.
need
We'll
that.
promise. We'll plug y'all at all times.
We need that. We need that, man. But especially that Code Red, that was my thing back in the day. That
Mm-hmm.
Code Red, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it right there, man. But we start every breakdown with the conference champion, and that conference champion was no other than the Florida State Seminoles, man. You're looking at the screen. This is what they did last season. A lot has changed. I'll let you start with Florida State, but a lot has changed with this team. A lot has changed within this conference as we'll get into it. But interested to hear your thoughts on Florida State coming into 2024.
So As an LSU fan, I know Florida State really, really well, very well. Uh, Not gonna get into that part, but Mike Norvell's done a really good job, man. Like he really deserves a hand of applause for what he's been able to do in the short time he's been at Florida State. You did lose some key players on offense and defense with Jordan Travis, Jared Verse. I think is Benson still there, if I'm not mistaken, or yeah, is he? Or
I think
he's
so.
gone. Okay.
I
Either
think it's
way,
still there.
so kudos to Florida State. They won the conference last year. Really dominant team. Unfortunately, Travis got hurt at the end of the year, which really hurt their chances of getting into the playoff, which caused a lot of controversy and a lot of discussions, heated debates for that. But as in going into this year, man, I have high hopes for Florida State. They get DJU. I think this is a really good situation for him to be in. Shoot, I don't know, man. I know they lost 28 people, but I still think
I don't think so.
Florida State's done really good
I don't
with
think they
recruits
bad.
and transfers, man. I think they're still going to be
Yeah,
really good. But
yeah.
you bring
That means
in
a lot. Yeah.
you bring in a guy like DJU that needed kind of a fresh start with Oregon State last year, proved a lot of the doubters wrong, and had that team in some games that a lot of people didn't think they were going to be in. They almost won the conference last year, going towards the end of the season. Uh, I think Florida State's in a good spot. I think the ACC as a whole is going to be tougher, so I don't see it being a cakewalk like it was for last year. I think the stars aligned for them, and they were really loaded talent-wise. But still, nonetheless, I think they're still in a really good spot. And I think Mike Norvell still has some. He still has some naysayers to prove wrong, man. I think they need to make the playoff this year to kind of silence anything from last year. But I think they're in a really good place, man. I think, like I said, it's going to be tougher. I think they're still ultra talented. I know they lost a lot of players, but I'm still have high hopes of Florida State.
Nah, man, I agree. I think Florida State's gonna be real good, man. I think DJU as as Andrew thinks they're gonna be third best. I mean,
Yeah, man, you never know.
I could see it. I could see it them being third, but they
Possible.
still gonna be in the top two, three teams though. So there's not much of a that's not much of a
Drop
that's not
off.
much of a fall off if you ask me, you know? Not really. Considering the fact that, he mentioned that they lost 28 players, right? But if they had third best, that's definitely not that much of a fall off. Considering Clemson, who knows what they're gonna look like, right? But I think Florida State's in a good spot, man. I think this year they're gonna benefit from a lot of teams kind of, wouldn't say rebuilding, but a couple teams got new coaches and a couple teams got new quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that they're going to win this division. Honestly, this conference. When we get into the picks and everything at the end, I'm gonna surprise you with my pick though. But I don't think they win the conference this year. But I do think they got a lot of returning good players, man. And I think DJU is trying to find what he does best. I think letting him be the big quarterback that stands there like the Big Bens of the world and just stand there and throw the ball. Trying to make him into Deshaun Watson and trying to make him into Trevor Lawrence just didn't work. And you've seen how it just affected his game, his confidence. But when he went to Oregon State last season, it felt like he played with a lot more confidence. And I think that's what their Florida State is getting. And I think he is going to be one of those players, man, one of those dudes this season. So I expect them to be all right. But let's get into the next team, man. The conference champion runner up, and that is Louisville, man. So Louisville decided not to show up in the bowl game, not the bowl game, but the conference championship game, at least offensively anyway, and sparked a little controversy in why that Florida State should have been in. I don't think they should have been in the playoffs last year because if you struggled to score on Louisville, what did you think you were going to do against someone else? So then you're down to your third string quarterback. I know everybody says, "Oh, look at what Cardell Jones did."
That's
Yeah,
a different situation, though.
yeah, that's different, bro. Because you think about all the players that were surrounding Cardell Jones. It's easy. Your quarterback don't throw 70 yards sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you go into the playoffs, which was brand new. So you're not just going into a championship game. It's just one game, and you play the national championship. No, you had a 4-team playoff starting that year, and one team didn't know how to play them. And then you got another game. They only got one game to study him. And then you get
Mm-hmm.
to the championship game and you got Oregon, and they only got 2 games to study him. Come on, man. It's simple math, man. They ain't know what they was playing with, and all they did was hand to Zeke anyway.
Yeah.
So like you was looking at the wrong person anyway. Cause Zeke had like 200 yards in like 3 straight games. So you weren't looking at the right guy to tell me that Louisville, that Florida State was going to get in and do anything like that. I don't think so.
No.
Considering that you look at Jordan Travis and how good he was, and how bad the team was after that. They was really bad after that. Those last 3-4 games they played without Jordan Travis was bad. But I digress. This is Louisville. Louisville. They're probably not going to be in this spot next season. Um, Simply because it's too much talent, man. Too much talent. Now they might sneak up and win their division if that's what they still have. But there's no way if they don't have divisions that this team is going to be a top 2 team in the ACC. So I don't know. I don't know. But I think Louisville is a team that should win at least 8 games because offensively they're wide open. So it should be interesting. See how many yards they can put up because they are actually a fun team to watch, in my opinion. So, but that's all I really got on Louisville. I think they'll be an 8-win team. They got a lot of offense, so if they'll steal a couple games, especially from the bottom feeders in this new ACC that we have, I think they'll steal some games, man. But let's get into this next one, man. Let's get into this next one, man. All right, we got the U, baby. It's all about the U, man. So, the U is actually the team that I'm really looking forward to seeing, man. I think they finally have the recruiting classes in place, to make some real headway in this conference, man. And the addition of I want to say Derek King, Cam
Cam
Ward,
Ward.
Cam Ward at quarterback is a big deal. It's a big deal, right? He could go to the NFL last year, but I think his draft grade was probably 3rd to 5th round. So it
Mm-hmm.
gives him a chance um, to boost it up. I think if they win the ACC, he's probably going to get some considerations for a 1st round quarterback. Just saying. Because they're going to get into the college football playoffs, and the more eyes that you have on you will get you drafted. That's why
Mm-hmm.
Ian Book got drafted. Ian Book played really good, for Notre Dame, and he showed a little bit in the championship game and the playoff game that he got in. And the Saints spent a late round pick on him. So for those people that say Brian Kelly can't produce quarterbacks, but he did. So I think they'll be all right. I think they could be definitely top 2 when the season ends. Like I said, depending on if they got divisions or not, I don't really know. But if they do, they could definitely win. I believe they're in the Coastal. They could win that. I think they're in the Coastal if they are doing divisions. So I
Mm.
think,
I don't think they have divisions anymore. 'Cause I'm looking at the standings right now, and they're not broken into divisions. So,
hey man, anything possible. We always looking to collab, man. Always, man. Always. So uh,
yeah, I
I
think it's.
know,
I think they
I
didn't. I
know,
think they
I
did
know.
away with the what's it
I
called?
know
So,
they messed up last season against Georgia Tech. I know, but I think that was more overthinking than anything. I think you just run the ball. But at the same time, if they didn't fumble the ball right there, what are we really saying? You know? If they didn't fumble the ball in that situation, then what are we really saying, right? And it only really matters because Georgia Tech won the game, right? If Georgia Tech didn't win after that, then it doesn't really matter. But because Georgia Tech won, it's like a bonehead coaching decision, right? We always second guess the coach after he goes for it on fourth down and they don't get it. But before that, wasn't it really exciting, right? So like I don't really get into the old, criticize the coach afterwards, like I was all for it because I felt like, man, look, we just want to run the ball. Let's just get this first down and call it a day. But it happens. People fumble all the time. I remember the Ravens playing the Chiefs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbled the ball, which gave Lamar Jackson the chance to get the ball back. It happens. It happens. Fumbles happen all the time, man. So I ain't really too beat up about that. But I think Miami's gonna be good, man. I think Cristobal got his offensive line together, and that's what he does. He's an offensive lineman at heart. One of my favorite coaches. Anybody from the Saban coaching tree, I always keep tabs on and see where they do later on. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see what he can do, man. I don't think he's in a hot seat or anything. But I do think this is kind of a year to establish what the U is going to be moving forward. What can they do? How can they move? I'm not saying they're back to what they used to be, but I think Cristobal being the coach that kind of played in that second wave of Miami, I think he's trying to steal some swagger back into their team, to play a certain way, to play with some attitude. And him, like I said, him being an offensive lineman is one of those things that I love, because if you're an offensive lineman at heart, I think it translates your team as far as toughness is concerned. So I'm looking forward to it, man. But this next team, I want to get your thoughts on it, man, because I was high on this team. I think we both were last season. Let's talk about the Clemson Tigers, man. Let's talk about them, man. I want to get your thoughts on it, man.
I think Clemson had a weird year last year. One, they just didn't feel like they showed up for a lot of the year. I think this year's a real make or break year for Clemson. Yeah, I
I know,
mean,
I know,
and
I know, I know. They had zero time. Okay, I knew that. I figured that. But I mean, it still was exciting though, man. I like the way it ended, man. I think it gave Georgia Tech the juice that they needed to win as many games as they did last season. But we get to Georgia Tech a little later, because I actually like them too. Let's see what
but
else we got here, man. Let's see. Echo Village, man. Shoot, man, we cool, man. Hey, just send us the link, man, and we will hop on, man. Like I said, we always down to collab, man. We've been waiting to do that anyway. Let's see what else we got here, man. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. But let's see what you got, Brandon. Let's see what you got. What you got on Clemson, man?
so I don't think 10 wins is outside the realm of possibility. I think Cade Klubnik, this has to be the year that like we get to see what he can really do in that offense. This year, Dabo really needs to show out, especially with the ACC taking on a couple new teams. Miami got better, Florida State got better, some other teams in the conference got better. This is where you really and I feel like they've been kind of like silent, like they've been quiet. Like you haven't seen a whole lot about Clemson, but they have been doing a lot of work in the offseason. I think I have high hopes for Clemson, man. I just hope that they can correct some of the issues that they were having last year, especially defensively. They kind of had some struggles, especially in some of those key games. That and stalling out on offense, not being able to score enough points. Like I'm hoping that Dabo can get them scoring a lot of points. In case you do still have some of those woes on defense, at least you're able to possibly outscore some of these other teams because they are talented, man. They're talented every year. Clemson's always getting really talented recruits, whether it be 4-star, 5 stars. Like they're always going to be in that conversation. But I want to see how they're going to compete with some of these teams that have been reloaded and have a legit chance to win the conference. But I could still see them playoffs. I don't know. 9 to 10 wins, though, definitely feasible. I really want to see what they're going to have as a product on the field this season.
Okay, no, I like Clemson too. I think they're one of the teams that can shock some people, man. Now I don't think that they're a national championship team. I don't. But I think they can win the ACC simple and fine. I think they can get in there, man. I think they can get in the playoffs simply by winning. Because, like I said in the last couple shows, money is everything, and Clemson is a brand. As far as representing for the Southeast, the Eastern Seaboard, that's a team that you could put in there. They've been a brand. They've won national championships within the last 20 years, right? So it's a brand. It's still really good. So I think they can get in there, man, and I think they can wreak some havoc, man. But they need to allow Cade Klubnik to play like they let Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson or even Taj Boyd before them. Let him run the ball while passing as well, and I think they can win some games. I think that could be really good for them. I'm excited to see what they do because last season I really believe that was just once they got beat in that first game. I think that
It
zapped
threw
them.
everything off.
Yeah, I think they had to recalibrate things. Like, okay, well, maybe I should evolve if I'm Dabo Sweeney. Maybe I should adapt some of this new age stuff that's going on, right? And I think that's fine, man. I think that's fine. I think it works out. I think it works out for them. So I think it'll be all right, man. But I wanted to get into this team right here, man. This next team on the list, man. Let's talk about the Duke Blue Devils, man. So obviously Mike Elko leaves for Texas A&M, but Manny Diaz becomes the new head coach of Duke. He was previously the head coach at Miami and had them really on some swagger stuff, man. I thought they was really, really going back. Now they had the swagger, but not the football fire that they needed. But Manny Diaz did a really good job as defensive coordinator for Penn State last year. So wasn't surprising that he got a another head coaching job. I really felt like they handled that him getting let go from Miami. I really felt like they handled that the wrong way, considering the fact that he had done some really good for that program considering where they were at the time. You know, I think he brought more eyes to them. I thought they were more exciting. I just thought that they didn't win the games that they needed to win. The Clemsons, the Florida States of the world, they were losing those games, right? But I digress, man. But it's good to see him get another head coaching job. And Duke's a perfect place to just recalibrate things. They get back into what you do well and how you want your team to go. And like I said, Duke has been a stepping stone for a lot of good coaches. Like Steve Spurrier started at Duke, and then look where he went. You know, so actually the ACC as a conference has been a stepping stone for other coaches. You think about Mac Brown at North Carolina. He took that, he started there, and then went to Texas, and then came back to North Carolina. So I mean, it's really a good story to see how you can come back. So I'm actually interested to see what happens at Duke. I don't really know, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be interesting, man. Because Duke's a basketball school by trade. We already know that, right? But we know that on a given year they can really put a good football product on the field. So interesting to see what happens next. But Manny Diaz being the head coach is something I'm really interested to see. So, but this is something we both can discuss, man. Let's talk about the Syracuse Orange, man. Let's talk about them, man. So before we get into that, man, do you know where you can find more college football content, man? Do you?
College football dogs.
Pause up, baby. Check it out.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. our subscription page where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College football dogs, man, you know the drill, man. Join the revolution of sports media, man. We're taking it back, man. Integrity is everything, man. Stop playing. Join the revolution, man. They helped us with our podcast journey, and we're glad to be a part of this journey with them to take back sports journalism and sports media, man. So let's get into some comments, man. We got some comments in the building, man. So let's see. Fathom. This point. Well, let's see. We'll see. 9 wins for Clemson. I don't think so. I think it's more than that. I think it's way more than that, man. Duke goes to a bowl game, huge for them. Actually, I think so. I think that's.
I just want to see where they're going to be at quarterback because they lost their star quarterback. You know they're going to be good at defense because Diaz is the coach, but what are they going to do on offense?
What's up? What is up?
What's
College
going
football
on, man?
dogs in the house. Yep, yes it is. And we
Shout out
got
to Vandy
college football dogs royalty in the house. The Golden Boot
Woo!
podcast. You know what it is, man. Shout out
Check
to
them
them,
out.
man. Doing numbers over there. Doing numbers. We see it, man. We see it.
We see y'all.
Thank you for having y'all in the chat with us, man. So let's get into Syracuse, man. So Fran Brown is now the head coach there. Another Georgia assistant. I swear Kirby Smart's turning into Nick Saban. His tree is growing limbs, man. He's got limbs everywhere. So it's exciting to see that a lot of his assistants are getting there. The biggest one, though, hasn't left yet. Hasn't left the nest. And that's Glenn Schumann. Glenn Schumann is going to be the one, man. So expect him to be hot on the job trail, especially if Georgia does what they need to do this season and wins the national championship or wins the SEC, man. I'm telling you, he's gonna be the one, man. What's the other one? Dan Lanning was another one from his tree.
Yep.
So I mean, he's starting to grow some limbs as well. So expect it. I expect it, but I think I was actually not in favor of them firing Dino Babers. I thought that he had an offense that fit them, fit what they needed to do. I mean, they could get recruits to do exactly what they needed to do. I mean, I don't know. I felt like it was perfect for what they were doing at the time. I mean, they beat Clemson a couple times. They beat some really good teams, you know. Now they lost some games that they didn't need to lose as well. But I still feel like, man, I don't know. I just thought Dino Babers did a good job there, considering that was his first D1 job after leaving Bowling Green. I thought he did really good, man. But you know what? I'm not upset at Fran Brown because he instantly made waves. And I want to get your thoughts on his quarterback, Kyle McCord.
Syracuse is a team I'm kind of not saying leaning on, but Syracuse is always that team, bro, that like they can always be a team to knock somebody off. I think McCord's playing with some hunger this year. You know, he was at Ohio State, and obviously things didn't end the greatest. But now you can go somewhere where there's not crazy first-time viewer, first-time commenter. Hi, I'm Virginia Tech. I have them. What? We're going to get to Virginia Tech here in a sec.
We're going to get, we're going to get to Virginia Tech. We're going to get to Virginia Tech. But 10-2, I don't know. That's a lot. But we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, man.
So, but I think he's going to be playing with some hunger, man. I think he's kind of in a similar, not the same situation, but a situation kind of like Will Howard, where it's a fresh start. You know that there's potential there. Obviously, Will Howard, I feel like, is way better than McCord. But I think a change of scenery and not as high of expectations can really do some good for a quarterback, for one, for his ability, for his confidence, especially being able to still go to a competitive conference like Syracuse is in with the ACC. Syracuse isn't a pushover team. They can go in and knock off any of these big-time teams. So, I mean, they do pretty good at recruiting, man. I think they had a really good running back here last year, the year before. Oh, we got a visitor.
We got a visitor, man. Hello. Say hello to the world, honeydew. Say hello. Hi. Look at the camera. What you looking at? Over here. Over here. Hey. Hi, world. I'm honeydew.
But
Anyway, man.
but
Anyway.
I think Syracuse is in a good spot, man. I think they're one of those teams. They're not a playoff team, no. But telling you, it's one of those teams that's going to creep up on a lot of these big time teams like Miami, Florida State, Clemson. Syracuse isn't a pushover. I think McCord is going to play with a lot of hunger. He wants to prove himself. And
Yeah.
no crazy expectations, man. Like I was saying, I think that's going to really benefit him. And I think it's going to benefit the team as a whole because nobody's talking about Syracuse. So Syracuse can go into a
Nobody.
lot of these games with no crazy expectations. They can go in and knock off a few of these big teams and really hurt a couple people's seasons trying to make that playoff, especially now being a 12-team playoff. You could ruin a lot of people's seasons. So I don't know, man. I definitely think they're a bowl game team. 7 wins, maybe 8 wins tops. I don't see anything crazier than that. I don't think it's wrong to feel like that, but I think Syracuse is going to be a really good team. Low key, not like 10, 11 wins good, but I think 7, 8 wins would be a really good season for them.
I agree, man. Not Clemson. I think Syracuse is gonna be okay, man. I think it'll be all right. 7 wins is good for them, especially in that conference now. There with a lot of teams. It's a lot of wins you can get. So let's see. Let's see, man. Let's see, man.
As in, I mean,
Nah, man. You're not eating honeydew. You're not eating honeydew. We don't do that here. Nah, man, it's all fun. It's all fun, man. But yeah, man, Syracuse, man, I like what they did with Fran Brown. I'm excited about that, man. But let's get into this next team before we get into some invaders of the ACC now. Let's talk about Mac Brown in North Carolina,
Ooh,
man.
that's an interesting
Um,
one.
um, I don't really know their current situation as far as quarterbacking is concerned. You really
They got Max Johnson, former
Max
LSU
Johnson?
quarterback
Okay.
from Texas
Nah,
A&M.
that's cool. That's
He's
cool. That's
transferred.
cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that move a lot, actually. Considering the fact that anybody who plays in their offense is pretty much gonna be really good.
Gonna
You
be able to
know,
throw the ball around.
you're gonna be able to sling it, man. And that is what you do at North Carolina. They are a vertical passing game, and they actually run the ball a lot too out of that set. So Max Johnson might actually be able to get himself drafted by playing really well. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's every college kid's dream to get drafted, man. I think a lot of people put a lot of stock on the first round, but man, as long as you get drafted, man, I think that's the dream.
Anything's
So,
possible.
and it's possible exactly because if he plays really good, he's probably not going to be a first rounder. But I guarantee if he plays good and there's a contender that is questionable on their quarterback, he might take a flyer on him and say, "Hey, you come into training camp. Let's see what it is. You know, let's see what happens." So who knows? I don't know, but I think Mac Brown's done really good there, considering what he had to coming back into coaching from being on ESPN. Um, he's done a really good job, man. He's done a really good job, man. And I love hearing him talk about North Carolina. He didn't forget how much North Carolina did for him to even be considered for the Texas job. And then he came back and gave them some love, as far as giving them a chance to be respectable again. And I like what they're doing there. I mean, like I said, this is also a basketball school by trait. But still, like I said, they've had a host of North Carolina players be drafted, and some really, really good. Julius Peppers, by the way. Hakeem Nicks was really good at one time. Dre Bly went there. Also, Torrey Holt went there. So they've had a lot. No, Torrey Holt went to NC State. My bad. I think
Oops.
that was there. Oops, my bad. Right down the street. So, but but nah, man. Like I said, I think they've had a good players come from there, man. So, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited to see what North Carolina does, man. I think they're in a golden age for their football program, and I think when Mac Brown leaves, it'll be better than when he got there. And so we'll see, man. So, but let's get into some invaders of the ACC, man. Let's talk about the Cal Golden Bears, man. So, Cal, obviously, they went to the bowl game last year. Not a very good record in the Pac-12, man. But bowl game nonetheless. I can see them being in the same spot, man. I forgot who their coach was. I forgot who their coach was, man. But he had been there for a while. But nonetheless, I can see them being in the same spot. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have high expectations for Cal. Cal hasn't been a very relevant team for quite some time. They are one of
Well,
those
like this,
teams.
this was a good
Oh my
comment,
God,
man.
Bill Snyder going back to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is actually. Hey, much respect to Snyder, by the way, dude. Bill Snyder's a freaking legend.
legend, legend,
Nobody
man.
talks about Bill Snyder. Bill Snyder's
Nobody
a freaking
talks at
goat,
all,
bro.
man. The stuff he did at Kansas State, man. Like considering what he had to work with as far as the atmosphere, as far as recruiting and the region, he really
Mm-hmm.
had some studs there, man. We're talking Darren Sproles, not Calvin Klein. That's underwear. Kevin
Oops.
Klein, yeah, the quarterback that was really good, finished top three in the Heisman. Then of
Mm-hmm.
course, I think his best player to come from there is Jordy Nelson. I think he had him really good as far as ready for the NFL. He caught everything, and we know he's one of the best. So I think Bill Snyder was really good, man. So good comment. Shout out the Golden Boot podcast, man.
But Cal, man, I mean, it's another one of those situations where you don't really have any expectations. You're not expected to go in there and make any noise. You've completely dissolved the Pac-12, so you get a chance to have a fresh start, man. You
Yeah,
kind of, it's a blank canvas. You're not considered a bottom feeder. You're not considered really anything. It's kind of a fresh start, no crazy expectations. I think Cal's probably still in. I'd probably say in the six. I don't really see 7, 8 wins. I'm gonna say probably in the same boat they were in last year. Probably get a bowl game and then go from there. But yeah.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I think they're in the same spot, man. Um, Considering what they got to go against this season, man. I think the ACC is gonna be real top heavy. Probably
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like two teams, three teams that really
I'd
can
say four
separate.
tops. Yeah.
Yeah, like two, maybe four. Like I said, four teams that can really separate themselves in terms of winning the conference as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So, but one of these teams I think could surprise you though, and I want to talk about the SMU
Yeah.
Mustangs,
Yeah.
baby. The SMU Mustangs are coming in hot, man. Finally, after all of the years of trying to rebuild after that death penalty, SMU's finally on the radar again, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think their rebuild officially started about maybe 10 years ago when June Jones got there from Hawaii. But now they got a really good team. The AAC was really a good conference for them to stamp their foot in there. They won the conference championship last year, and I feel like they're ready for a new challenge, man. Not geographically the best conference for them, but because I felt like they should have went to the Big 12, honestly, because
Yeah.
it's right there.
That's
You
what
in
I
that
figured.
area, you're in that area. You got Texas, you got Oklahoma, you got all those places around there. You can recruit the four corners like you want to, so you can do what you got to do. But the ACC is looking for new members because everybody else is getting them. So why can't they? Right? And I think could be one of those four teams in the ACC that can win. I'm really excited about. I think they still have Mordecai at quarterback, right? That's
No.
not his name.
He was at Wisconsin last year. He's been gone. They've got a whole different. Yeah.
Whole different
He's
team.
been.
Okay. No, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. Like I said, I
But
haven't
they
watched
can
much.
still score points. Like they were still really efficient on offense last year, even without him being like one of the nation's top passers. So they're still gonna be able to score some points. And I like it. I could
Yeah.
see, yeah.
Yeah.
5-6 wins tops.
Yeah.
I could still see SMU being surprisingly competitive, man. I think they can score points. I think they like to spread things out, move the ball up and down the field. And like I said with Kyle and them, it's a brand new conference. Don't know what to expect. They could ruin a lot of people's seasons, man. I really am very hopeful to see what SMU can do. I think they're gonna establish themselves here this year, the next couple of years, to be a really good contender in the ACC for sure. I think it's gonna really help benefit them recruiting. Now they can reach a lot of these other states that maybe they weren't really reaching before. I think it's gonna really benefit them going forward.
No, I agree, man. I think them being in the conference is gonna be huge, man. I think it's gonna be huge. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited about what they can do, man. I'm excited. I'm excited about it, man. But nonetheless, man, let's get into a team that's falling on some hard times, man. Some hard times. We got one. We got a comment here. We got a comment, man. Let's see. Yes. Rhett Lashley is one of those guys that's added to my hot candidate list, man. He's been an offensive savant for a while now, like at least 5 years. He's been on the radar of some high programs, man. But he's doing the right thing. Let's slow play it. Let's do the offensive coordinator thing. Now let's take this little program that we got here and let's just build it to a place where it's better than where I found it. And then let's take that next step. He's doing exactly what I thought Billy Napier should have did. But we'll digress about that another time, man.
10-11 wins, though. I don't see that, though.
Oh, I mean, anything's possible, man, when you got an offensive genius, man. I mean, all you got to do is put yourself in a position, as far as it's a lot. I know.
I just don't know if they have the firepower to be able to contend with those top 2 or 3 teams. They might be able to squeak a win. They might be able to squeak a win out on at least one of them. 10-11 wins. I'm not saying it's impossible, but we got to pump the brakes a little bit. I mean, it's a brand new conference. We got to see how they're going to adjust to the competition because it is an upgrading competition.
But I mean, it is an upgrading competition. But I'm all for the spread offenses, man.
Yeah, I agree.
mean, you can plug that into any conference, and if they haven't seen it the way that you do it, it's a wrap, man.
It's going to be dangerous. I think there's definitely maybe the 8 to 9, just 10-11, man. I just feel like just a little bit of a stretch, but you really never know.
Hey, if they get 10-11, Rhett Lashley gone, bro.
That's over with.
Gone, man.
That's a done deal.
He gone, dog. One of them top schools gonna get him.
Especially in year one. That means they're scoring on everybody. That means nobody can stop them. Yeah. That means that defense is playing really good too, because they got some good quarterbacks in this conference. So
I agree. Excuse me. All right, let's get into this team that's falling on hard times, man. So we grew up with Stanford being really good, man. Jim Harbaugh was there with Andrew Luck, and they had some really other good quarterbacks as well, man. That came through Stanford. David? What's his name, man?
David Mills. Davis.
No.
You're talking about
the coach.
Oh yeah, you're talking
David Shaw.
Yeah, he ended up resigning. I think he took a coordinator job in the league, huh? If I'm not mistaken.
So I mean, David Shaw had those guys playing real good, especially after Harbaugh left, and they treaded water for a while. But Stanford's another one of those schools that their academic standards kind of hurts your football, hurts your sports and athletics department very, very much, man. Stanford is one of those schools that if you get one of these, you'll go a lot further than you think, because Stanford's one of those highly respected schools. So, but like I said, their academic standards are very high, so it also affects your your school, your athletics. I mean, so, but I mean, they're falling on hard times. They're coming into this conference. I think this was just them looking for a new home. because they knew the God man, they knew the
Pac-12.
yeah, they knew that was over with, man. They knew that, man. It's hard for me to say that, man. The Pac-12's been around for 100 years, man, and it's not there anymore. Like that right there is crazy to me, you know. But the fact that they're not a conference anymore is crazy. The fact that Stanford is in the ACC right now, it just
It's really weird.
doesn't make any sense at all, man. Like I would have been happy with them maybe just combining the WAC or
Mountain
the WAC
West.
Mountain West or the WAC or whatever. You could have done the WAC, you could have done the Mountain West and made just one big conference, man.
Yeah,
And I guarantee
not
uh,
everybody's like the SEC though. The SEC is good about staying geographically sound. Everybody else is like, to heck with it, you know.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just wild to me, man. Like everything in the SEC is connected. Texas
Mm-hmm.
is connected to Louisiana. Oklahoma is
Mm-hmm.
connected to, I believe, it's
Arkansas.
Arkansas, Kentucky's right next door.
Yeah.
Like everything's connected. And then you got Missouri right there, which is connected to all the states down there, honestly. So I mean, it's all connected. Florida's right there, connected with everything else. Georgia's right there. Kentucky, all those guys, all those teams are right there, right? And it just sucks, man, that the Pac-12 is not there anymore. But I think Stanford's going to be in the same spot, man. I don't think they're going to win many games. And they just gotta rebuild, man. I think it's more of a logistics thing. I think they should really think about doing what Notre Dame did and just bringing the GPA down just a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not saying, just drop it down to like 2.5, like a lot of schools do, and get you in there, right? Because Stanford has to keep their standard of being a really excellent school. I just say bring it down a little bit, 3.0, 2.9, something like that. Something that will make somebody want to go there, not only for school, but to play
Mm-hmm.
sports. And I think that's what it is. I think once you put it really high like that, it's just hard to recruit, man. It's really hard because some people can't even get eligible to play there. That's why they don't
Yeah.
go, you know. And then now that they don't have the ACT, SAT being a part of the requirements, I mean that helps. But now your GPA has to be really high. So it's like just something to think about, man. But Stanford being the same spot. Let's see,
Two.
last year
Oh
the
man,
fourth.
don't write Billy Napier off yet, man. Come
No,
on, man.
don't do it.
Don't do
Don't
him
do
like
it.
that.
Don't do it. Don't do it yet. Not Lashley to Florida. Not yet, man.
Don't
Not
do
yet,
Billy
man.
like that.
But he wins 10 games or
Oh
11
yeah, that.
games. Like
And
you
in
said,
Florida, yep.
that's over with.
Yeah.
That's done. That's done. That's a done deal. That's done before the season's over. He won't even coach the bowl game. He'll be over. He'll be in Florida before the bowl game even starts. So yeah, David Shaw and Brandon
Yeah,
was saying he got a coordinator job. So
he stepped down and went back to the NFL, which is something I think he had been wanting to do for a while. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
would
yeah,
be
yeah, 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 yeah. So okay, so yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up, man. Glad you brought that up, man. Because I don't think we're gonna get into the Sun Belt this year or the AAC or whatever Middle Tennessee State's in. But this is one of the hires of the offseason that I thought was really good. Derek Mason was the defensive coordinator at Auburn uh, last year. Yeah, last year, and they did okay. They did okay, but he was the head coach of Vanderbilt for at least 5, 6 years, and Vanderbilt was respectable. They were in a bowl game almost every year. 7 wins, I think, were their highest win total. But Middle Tennessee State is a good program to really get your feet wet back in being a head coach again. And if Stanford was to make a change, I would think so, man. I
that'd be
would
a
think
really
so.
good fit, to be honest.
It would be a really, really good fit. It was really good, and yeah, and exactly. The next comment, he was DC at Stanford. He
Yep.
was under David Shaw. So yeah, so I think it'd be a good fit, man. I think he's all about academics too, considering the fact that he did coach at Vanderbilt, which is one of those schools that has a higher academic standard. So I like that. I like that a lot, man. I think that'll be an interesting hire for them, maybe moving forward. And he's really good at building programs, man. And if he can build Stanford back up to at least where they were before Jim Harbaugh got there,
That's a
I think
win.
it'd be all right. I think it'd be all right because Stanford before Jim Harbaugh got there weren't terrible, but they weren't USC at the time. So
Nobody elevated them though.
he sure did. He sure did, man. It's kind of funny. Harbaugh just gets there and just makes magic everywhere he goes, man. So when we get to the NFL, yeah, San Diego's not going to be bad that much longer. Let's just say that. But yeah, thank you,
San
Go
Diego
Group.
is gonna be bad because there ain't nothing there.
That's all right. It wasn't nothing there when he took over the 49ers either.
No, I'm saying San Diego doesn't have a football team.
Oh, snap. You're right. You're
Don't play
right.
with my emotions, bro. You know how we feel about this. San
My
Diego
bad,
needs the
man. I
Chargers back.
forgot.
Get
I
out of
forgot,
LA.
man. I forgot. I'm
Oh
living in
man.
I'm living in 2012. I'm sorry. I think San Diego's
That's
still
not a
there,
terrible
man.
time.
Like, I'm sorry, man. I forgot. I'm actually kind of tired too, man. I'm sorry. This is crazy. I forgot, man. I miss San Diego. I do. I miss the Chargers, San Diego. I miss the Rams being in St. Louis, man. It's simpler times, man. What's going on with football? Why teams just won't stay where they're supposed to be at, man? Speaking of teams, man, let's talk about Virginia Tech, man. Go to boot brought this up, man. So they won a bowl game, beat Tulane last year, man. Let's see. I think Virginia Tech, I don't know, 10-2 is where they're gonna be at. But I think they'll be all right, man. I think they are if we're talking wrestling, they're a mid card team. They're in there right there. They're intercontinental championship level.
Yeah, they're in that
Under
LA
that,
night,
under
that
that,
LA
right?
night conversation.
They're not fighting for the main championship. If we're
They're
talking
fighting for the
wrestling,
U.S. title.
we're U.S. title, intercontinental title for
Yeah,
Virginia Tech, man. So I don't think they're gonna be 10-2 good, but
I can
eight,
see 8 win.
but
Yeah,
eight,
see you spoke.
I
Yeah,
I can see 8. I can definitely see 8, man. I can see 8. I think they're a really good program, man. And they're ACC stalwarts, man. And they've never been like terrible. Like
no.
Frank Beamer had them guys playing good. Not to mention he did go to a national championship game.
Yeah.
Did have Michael Vick.
Hey, they
He
bring
did
it. They
have
bring
it.
in the throwback jerseys back this year too, bro. They
So I
bring in the
mean,
big jerseys back.
so I'm
So
just
it
saying.
might be a magical year.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Talk about entrances. It's like the best entrance out there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Enter Sandman to start the game, bro.
It's pretty sick.
Let's see. Let's see. I wonder if the Go to Boot was talking about Stanford. You're talking about Stanford here?
Every starter, once they made the change of quarterback, they went on a roll, finished the year winning 5 or 6. I don't think that was Stanford. Because I don't remember Stanford being on a win streak last year. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if that was directed towards them or not.
Virginia Tech might. If that's Virginia Tech, they might be good though.
They're going to
Virginia
be
Tech,
good, man.
yeah, they'll be good. They'll be good. We're talking eight wins. Let's see. Hold up. Let's go 8 wins for Virginia Tech. Yeah. We can see that.
I
And
think it's a
then
conservative answer.
Sandstorm. We talking about the Gamecocks versus Virginia Tech. Nah, bro.
Nah, Virginia.
Sandstorm is good, but Enter Sandman.
It's
Come on,
epic.
bro. Metallica. Bro, look at me. I'm black. I shouldn't know Metallica, but I know Metallica, bro.
We're
Come on,
breaking
man.
barriers here, man.
Come on, man. We're breaking barriers here. I know Metallica, bro. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Yes, I know Sandstorm too. I'm also black and I know Sandstorm, bro. I do. I do that. I like all of that, bro. I like all of that music, dog. I do. But come on, man. Ain't nothing better than Metallica, dog. Enter Sandman is cold. To start a game, oh, come on, man. Come on, man. So, yeah, he was talking about Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
But is that like I've seen that on television. It is live, but not as live as Virginia Tech when Enter Sandman come on.
Virginia Tech can be trash, and the entrance is still going to be dope. Like, it
Bro,
doesn't even matter. Like, they could be straight butt, and it don't matter. I still want to be there for that.
I mean, it's cool, bro, but still, dog, they can have 40,000 and Metallica play, and it's still probably louder than that, bro. Come on, man, stop playing, bro. They don't
Oh,
deserve.
shots fired! Shots fired!
They don't
Shots
deserve
fired!
Sandstorm. I agree. I agree.
Ooh,
I
man.
agree. They don't deserve Sandstorm, man. It's too damn
Oh,
good.
why the hate?
Why
Why
the
the
hate,
hate?
bro? Come on, man.
You more of a country guy?
You a country guy?
You
Hey,
need some
Andrew,
dozen
what's your
roses?
favorite? What's your favorite rock band? Put it in the chat. I want to know. That'll tell me a lot right there. All right, and then
It takes us with
$50. Like, come
50,000.
on, man. It's
I
okay.
don't know,
It's
man.
okay.
Sometimes,
It's
but
okay.
I'll say one thing though before we go to commercial break. Yeah, a lot of seats make a difference, but the environment and just that atmosphere, like sometimes that can make up for maybe the 50,000 to 80,000. Like, I don't know, bro. It's pretty epic, bro.
You don't like country music? You don't like rock music? What you like, man? Dang, you a
Are you
hard
more
person to understand.
are you more like in your feelings kind of guy? Are we thinking like 90s R&B, like we shedding some tears, got some tissue paper out, like what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Golden Boot. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
okay.
bro.
Yeah, you
66,000. I knew it had over
had
50,000, bro.
to go
Come
do
on,
some
man.
research. I see y'all.
60,000,
That's
66,000
still
people
respectable, man. To have
singing
freaking
and going off to Metallica. Come on, man. We talking about a rave here. Stop playing, man. I'll be live, man. Don't let me go to Blacksburg, bro. Don't let me go to Blacksburg. Man, I'll be the only black dude out there singing every word to Metallica, bro. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing. Now nah, alternative. See, okay. See now we can
Oh,
talk.
okay,
Now,
so I kind
now
of
we can talk. Now we can talk. Before we go to commercial break, man. Look, that's cool. That's cool. I'm like a 2000s alternative. We talking Coldplay. We talking Linkin Park. That's my type of thing. I love alternative stuff, man. I do. I do. I ain't gonna lie. So we cool. We cool. We on the same.
the jump from both the jump from the 90s, then we go back to like 50s. Like that's a big change of scenery, bro. Much respect
Yeah,
though. Much
yeah,
respect, but that was just a little random.
yeah.
That's
That's
dope
a
though. Much
big.
respect though.
That's a big jump, man. I don't know if I listen to any 50 song.
Oh.
I mean, even the Temptations, that's like 70, 60, 70. That's still
No,
like,
that's about the 60s, yeah.
yeah. So that's about as far as I go, man. I don't.
Might
Hey,
as well go back to
hey,
the roaring 20s, bro.
yeah, bro. I'm not doing that, man. Not finna have me doing all that. Look, I ain't going that far, man. But hey, let's get into this next commercial break, man. College football dogs, man. Join the
Pause up.
revolution.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
College football dogs for the fans.
Shout
Taking
out.
Drink Sports Media. Let's go. We got some college football dogs royalty in here, man. Let's see, man. Let's see. Like got that. We did that one. We got 15 and 50. Vandy.
That's a
Man, look.
controversial topic in the
Yeah,
show.
the Vandy's okay, man. Like Vandy's alright though, man. I can't even be mad, man. Played it for you. Talking about the '50s music, yeah, man. Man. Hey, you know what song my dad played or that I play? Nothing. He didn't play nothing. He wasn't there.
Oh, God dang, bro. Just 0 to
hey,
100 real quick.
shade,
Golly.
shade. I'll throw shade. I don't care, man. Your son doing a really cool podcast. Take that, fool. Anyway, I'm proud you love your dad. I think dads are important. That's why I take care of my kids.
Shout out to all the pappies out there.
All the
Ourselves
pappies out there, man.
Ourselves included.
Except mine. Hey, I'm on fire. I'm on fire tonight, man. I'm on fire tonight, man. We're gonna get banned.
Hopefully not.
We're gonna get banned off of college football dogs for all this stuff today, man. But nah, man, let's get into these last few teams, man. We got a couple teams to get into. But let's talk Boston College, man. Boston College beat SMU in the bowl game. 7 wins last season. I think Boston College is one of those teams that just hovers around the same spot. I mean, they could be real bad or they could be real good. Doesn't really matter. They one of those schools, man. They hit or miss. I think we did a video way back, like one of our first videos, talking about the biggest collapses in college football. And I think Boston College was on that list.
Yep, they were.
And but Boston College has also been one of those schools that's had some really epic college football moments. Obviously, Doug Flutie's Hail Mary throw. He did that. So some really cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff at Boston College, man. But I think they'll be in the same range. I think they'll be in the same range as they in right now. Let's see what we got. But I think it'd be the same thing. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, the conference is expanded, and I feel like the teams that were really good are getting better, and some of those other teams that were like middle of the card guys, like mid cards, pretty much how we made wrestling references, then they got better. I don't think Boston College is a bad team. Boston College is another team like Texas A&M that can come to play on any given Saturday. They can stun almost anybody.
Yeah.
And it's usually never when you see it coming either. You're like, Boston College. They always write them off, and it's always that one team. Doesn't have to be a Florida State, Clemson, and they're going to come to play, and they're going to freaking shock them. So I definitely think they're probably still in the 6 to 7 bowl win, bowl game, whatever. Probably might knock off one of these couple big teams in the conference.
Yeah, I can see that too, man. I can see that too. Let's see. I got 6 kids.
God bless you. God bless you.
I got like 5.
God bless you too. God bless you too.
Depending on what
I
day
got
it is.
2.
Yeah, depending on what day it is, I got like 5. Honeydew makes 6.
Yeah.
Can't forget
Larry Child.
Yeah, man. Can't forget the fur, baby. BC4. Not that bad.
Oh no, I definitely think they're at least 6 wins.
Not 4.
I don't think they're gonna be that.
4.
Yeah.
That's like Stanford. Stanford might get 4, but
yeah,
Boston
Stanford's in the
College
4
got a
wins.
lot of talent. They can do that.
I remember Boston College with 10-2, finished a runner-up in the ACC, and got ran out of Nashville. Yeah, I think I remember that now that you come back to mention it. That's bad. Vanderbilt ran somebody out of town? Oh, man.
Come on, man. Stop playing the SEC. Just because they're a bottom feeder in the SEC don't mean that they don't get no SEC
man,
players.
I respect Vanderbilt. I know we got some Vanderbilt fans in the network, and there's quite a bit of banter goes back and forth about that. But, yeah, much respect to Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
too,
man. Yeah, man. So, I think Boston College will be all right. Probably the same spot.
Agreed.
But this team is interesting, man. Like I said, Georgia Tech. We're talking about Georgia Tech.
And they got a good quarterback this year too, man. Like I think Georgia Tech, they're going to exceed 7 wins. I think you're looking at 8, 9 wins. Like I really think Georgia Tech, they're another sleeper team, but they're talented, man. And you see what they did to Miami last year. They hung in there with them. They're really good, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I forgot who their quarterback is that transferred in this year. I forget who that guy is, but I know.
forgot.
Oh man, I feel like I should know. But Georgia Tech's gonna be good, bro.
Yeah.
Like you've seen them kind of progressively get better. I think the first year with these new teams in the conference got a bunch of new faces. I think Georgia Tech's gonna be one of those really good teams. Not to the same degree in pedestals like a Florida State, Miami, but I think they're still a pretty good team nonetheless.
Yeah, no, I think they're good, man. I think they'll be all right, man. I like I said, Saban's coaching tree is very, very deep, and they have Brent Key. I think he's the coach there now. Another one of Saban's tree members, so I follow all of them. So I'm excited to see what he can do there. I think them winning 7 games was a great step in the right direction last season. Perfect step for them to build. Now, will they win their annual rivalry at the end of the season against Georgia? I don't know. But I will say it should be more interesting this year than it was in previous. I think it should be. I think Georgia just has a lot. That's all. That's all I'm saying, man. It's just a lot. It's like South Carolina and Clemson, man. Clemson just got a lot, man. That's all. Clemson just at that point. But it was at one point that South Carolina would beat Clemson a lot, So it's just a matter of time, man. In fact, actually, if you want to be honest, Georgia Tech, before Georgia went on their little championship run, Georgia Tech had the most recent championship in Georgia.
Yeah.
In 1991. Georgia hadn't won since 1980 before that. So let's just say that, Georgia Tech out there doing things, man. So I'm proud to see what they can do, man. So, but they got a good recruiting base too, man. They got the city of Atlanta behind them. So they can snag anybody they want to. So I think they have a good recruiting pitch. Like, we're downtown Atlanta. We can, what you want to do? Got those clubs, we got regular clubs, we got music scene, everything, and when I say those clubs, you know what I mean. I'm on fire tonight, man. Stop playing, dog. It's an ACC, man. Come on, man. Let's see the Golden Boot guy say about GT, man. So yeah, man. Yeah,
That's
man.
good.
I told you.
That's what you want, though, for a program like Georgia Tech. They've got tradition, they've got history, and to have a guy in there that's had the success, and you've gradually seen them get better, upgrading the facilities, making them more of a more respectful team as a school. Like, that's really good, man.
I'm telling you, dude.
And he has given them fits too.
Yeah, man. So man, I am all for it, man. I told you I'm a Saban treeologist, man. So when I see Saban assistants doing real good, I love it, man. Keep those players away from Young Thug and Woody. Nah, man. Free Young Thug. You
cutting
man.
Up.
And free
Golden Boot Podcast, y'all cutting up.
Yeah, I'm cutting up, man. And free Woody, man. Keep Woody free, man, because that dude is hilarious, man. But free Young Thug, man, they ain't got no case on dude, man. Just throw that thing out, man. I've been watching that on TikTok, man. All the updates, man. That's just nasty work, man. They just keep that going for the money, man. Stop playing. Y'all wasting taxpayers' dollars trying to keep this case going, man. But hey, y'all want to keep it going? I'm glad we don't do court content, because boy, we would have a field day with that. But nah, man. But that's funny, man. Shout out to Golden Boot, man. They really keeping it going. But let's get to this next team, man. Let's get to it, man. We don't want to run too long today, man. But NC State, dog. NC State's really good, man. They lost the Pop-Tarts Bowl, man. I gotta give me some Pop-Tarts, man.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, that sounds nice,
if you're watching, like, we here. Like,
yeah, man. I'm telling you, if you're in the chat right now, if you're watching the video, man, run them likes up. But comment your favorite Pop-Tart, man. I want to know. Yeah. I'm curious. If somebody
I feel like you a brown, like, cinnamon brown sugar guy.
Bro, I'm actually a wild berry guy, man.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's like my favorite Pop-Tart, man. Ask my mama, man. Hey, can I get that? Fine, whatever. But guess what? I was eating her brown sugar ones on the low.
If you had, because you didn't ran through all your good ones, you gotta have
yeah, bro. yeah, man. I ran through those things, but NC State, man. I think they're same thing, mid card championship team, man. Since we both like wrestling, but I think they'll be all right, man. I think is Dave Doran still a coach there?
I think so, if
Is he
I'm
still
not
there?
mistaken.
If he's
I'm
still there,
pretty
man,
sure.
all they need is a quarterback, man.
NC State's
Um,
always a solid team, though. Like,
yeah,
even without
yeah.
Devin Leary last year, like, they won 9 games. And Devin Leary wasn't a pushover. NC State's always one of those teams that's always kind of, not going to say in the hunt, but they're respectable. And like 8, 9 wins, like, they're always going to play tough.
10 years. 10 years for what, Golden Boot? 10 years for what? We still talking about
I'm curious. I got to know.
yeah, we talking about Georgia Tech or we talking about NC State?
Or are we talking about Pop-Tarts? I don't know.
Yeah, because Pop Tart does sound good, man. I might have to
Yeah.
see if they got some
Chris,
stuff.
I hate NC State.
Yeah, I could tell.
Or they could be worse. They could be worse options, though. I'm just
Yeah, it could
saying.
be worse option.
Go
Go
to
to hell,
hell,
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack. Golly, where's the
Food
animosity?
court
Kerrigan
and
doesn't want to be AD.
tortilla slap.
That's a good one. That's a
Oh
good
man,
one.
that's a good one. That's a real good one. NC
NC
State.
touched Chris and his no.
Y'all wilding tonight.
Woo,
Y'all
it's hot in
wilding
there, bro.
tonight. Nah, man. It's all good. It's all good, man. But Boo Corrigan is funny, man. Oh my god, dog. When he had to talk about the college football playoff last year, bro, he looked so out of place, bro. I was like, bro, you are not the chairman that we need, man. Give us back not Bill Self, man, but the first one. The first one. Bill is it Bill Hancock? Was Bill Hancock the first one? I think so.
Yeah, probably so.
I think he was the first chairman. Give me back Bill Hancock, bro, because he knew what he was talking about, bro. He wasn't playing. He's like, man, look, the team was better. What else you want to know? Like, dude was so out of place, man. But NC State should be okay, man. Let's get to these last few teams, man. Let's get into the
Ooh,
Pitt
man.
Panthers,
Yeah.
man. Struggled last season, man. I think Pat Narduzzi's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And it might be just time for a new face, man. You know, this might be time for a change. But you know what? I think every coach needs a chance to fix it. You know, like I think he deserves a chance. He's earned a chance
They
because
were good a few years ago, man. When they
yeah,
had Pickett and they
so
had
I think he
Addison and all
deserves
that,
a
they
chance
weren't
to.
bad.
Yeah, I think he deserves a chance to figure it out. I think he deserves a chance to figure it out, man.
I
Hey,
appreciate
hey,
the theme music in the background.
chill. Hey, out, and close the door. Out, real quick. Out.
I
Close the
hear,
door.
I hear homeboy with the xylophone in the background.
Yeah, man. Man, I'm telling you, dude. I'm like, bro, you sit right by the television. Why do you have to have it so loud? Like, dude, Jesus, man. I'm the one that shouldn't be able to hear after all the damn shooting ranges I had to go to all the time. Shoot, I should be the one that shouldn't be able to hear. Shoot, man.
Thankfully,
But
you can.
right, man. Shoot, but man, Jesus. But all right. So Pitt should be all right. Pitt should be. I think there's a chance to fix it. I don't know if they'll be a top team or anything or a middle card team, but he deserves a chance to fix it before they think about firing Pat or Doozy. But we'll see. I think he's really good. I think he's a real good coach. Pitt has done some really good things. I actually love their jerseys, by the way. I love the
The
blue.
throwbacks, they went back to
Yeah.
the throwback blue and yellow. Because when we were kids, they had the navy and gold. And then they
Yeah,
went back to the old school, like yellow.
yeah, the Daryl Reeves, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or the LaShawn McCoys, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So it was okay. It was okay. I like, or actually Larry Fitzgerald too, because
Yep.
those were the ones he was in.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah, I like the old school ones, the Tony Dorsetts and Dan Marinos. I like those. Those was nice. But now Pitt should be all right, man. But let's get into those last two teams, man. Wake Forest. I think they will probably be in the same spot. But I tell you this: when they get a quarterback because they just left. They just had one leave, like a generational quarterback in Hartman. So their team is really good when they have a good trigger man, and they run a wide open offense. So, and the fact that they run a wide open offense lets them beat
Helps.
anybody. Yeah, it lets you beat anybody. I always say you can have a run game scheme, and it's probably not going to be successful. But if
You
you can
have to be able to score and fast. You have to be
yeah,
able to get
like
down
if you could score
because
fast, you win a lot of games, man. I've seen a lot of spread offenses just come in and just wreck everything. You know, like I said, I go back to this all the time. Mizzou did the same thing, bro. Mizzou came in with that spread offense with those basketball players playing football, and the SEC was not ready for it, and that's how they won 2 SEC championships in a row. So if you're a team that's coming into a new conference, man, I would recommend doing a spread offense, man. I mean, it's easy to run. You can wrinkles, you can do anything. You can run a zone run scheme. I mean, that's always fun because you could just hit the gap and go 90 yards. It doesn't really matter,
especially
right?
if you're really talented at the receiver position, the tight end. If you got
Yeah,
some
man.
speed or some athletic guys out there,
Yeah,
and a guy
man.
who can at least throw the ball somewhat on the money, you're gonna be able to score points.
Yeah, man. So look, I think they'll be all right, man. I think they'll be all right once they get that quarterback, and then they'll be right back to 9, maybe 10 win range because they got some talent,
They
man.
were really good when they had Hartman and A.T. Perry, man. They could score. So I
Yeah,
mean,
they took Clemson down to what the last play of the game or something one year, with Hartman there. So they were actually winning that game before, uh, you know, they went off. But actually, it was a really good game. Went to overtime. But I think Wake Forest is just a quarterback away.
they got a
From
good
really,
program too, man. That's a good program that people don't talk about too. I like Wake Forest.
yeah, I love
The
their
Demon
chrome
Deacons.
helmets. Their chrome helmets are like really good, man. Let's see. And then we get into this last team, man. And then we'll close it up, man. Let's talk about Virginia, man. 3-9. I think they fired Bronco Mendenhall. I think he was the coach there. It hadn't been a good run there for him. And Virginia's looking to rebuild, man. That's all, man. Virginia's is it's the school. It's the prom date that you really don't want, man. You know, like you at Virginia Tech and you're getting recruited by Virginia Tech, you're getting recruited by Clemson, but you don't go there. So then you go to Virginia, that's the school you choose. So that's kind of what Virginia is right now. They're like the bridesmaid, man. You don't really get a chance to, you don't really pick them that much, and that's
It's
kind
like
of what
that.
it is.
It's like that bridesmaid you don't want to get paired up with at the wedding, but you ended up being the last guy left, so you had to get stuck with them. Yeah.
Yeah, be like, nah, I picked that rock over there.
Can I just like not? Can I just like sit out? Oh no, I
Yeah,
can't. Oh okay.
man.
All right.
I just sit by the bar, bro. Like y'all got an open bar, I'll just go do that. That's kind of what Virginia is right
Virginia,
now.
but Virginia does put out good talent. Like they
Yeah,
don't have bad
yeah,
talent. It's just a hard
I
place to
agree.
win, man. It
Yeah, it
really
is. It
is.
is. It's a
If
hard
you don't
place
have
to
a really
win.
good quarterback, it's hard to win there.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those spots that they just need some work, man. I think they do have an advantage though. You have a lot of talent that you just have to find in
Mm-hmm.
that DMV area, man. I really say that a lot. The DC, Maryland, Virginia area is a hotbed for talent, man. On a list of top 5 places to go as far as recruiting. I mean, obviously you got Texas, California, Florida, but as you go up the East Coast, man, the DMV is right there. Like that's a good spot to get talent, man. I know Alabama goes there quite a bit. I'm sure LSU goes there quite a bit, But if Virginia can keep maybe one or two of those guys right at home, maybe they can win. They just need to find a recruiting base, man. That's all. Like a guy, you need to make Virginia, the school to go to. Like every school on here that's the state school, right? We talking Florida, right? Florida State or something like that, right? You talk about the state schools, right? You want to make those a big deal, you know, having Miami, right, win all those championships and Florida State going through kind of that rough spell, right? It didn't feel right, right? Because that's not the state school, So it kind of feels bad, that Virginia Tech's doing better than Virginia, and that's not the state school. So like it's just you gotta make Virginia football feel like a big deal, and that's the big problem, man. It doesn't feel like a big deal, and it's not Virginia Tech, it's not DC, Maryland, and Virginia Tech. It's Virginia. So you gotta make Virginia football feel like a big deal, man. It used to be, and now it's not letting more. But I think it'll be a few years before they fix it. But I think it starts with recruiting, man. So but that's the breakdown of the teams, man. So this is our closing argument segment, man. As we start the show, as we end the show, I mean, and we're gonna pick our ACC winners, man. So I'll start with you, and let's see what you think, man. Let's get into it. Let's see. Hold up. Pat
Wait,
Narduzzi.
why we want to get rid of Shane Beamer, man? I like Shane Beamer at
I
South
do
Carolina.
too. I like Shane Beamer,
And
man.
Narduzzi's not even really that big on freaking the transfer portal and NIL and all that. So I don't know about him making a move to the SEC. Like, I don't know. Ooh, 3 wins though?
3 wins for Wake Forest and Dave Claus on the hot seat. I don't think so. Because you just came off a generational quarterback in Sam Hartman, man. I say give him some time to figure out the next guy, and I think it'll be all right. I think they'll be all right. Once they figure out who's the next guy, I think we'll be all right, man. Let's see. He says Tony Elliott. Tony Elliott for Virginia. Yeah. He's the head coach of Virginia. He's for Clemson. He was a Clemson offensive coordinator. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. The Clemson assistants haven't been that good.
No, you haven't really heard too much good stuff, to be
Yeah,
honest.
anybody that comes from Clemson as an assistant, they haven't done very well.
What's going on,
Like,
Dabo? What's going
yeah,
on?
man, what's going on? Because
What's going
Chad
on?
Morris was whack, bro.
we talk about Chad Morris a little too much.
Man, he was whack, bro. He was whack. Bro, they straight fired Brett Bielema for that dude, man. Bro,
And that was a complete disaster.
They won like maybe one SEC game in like 3 seasons with dude. That's terrible. Like there's bad, but then that's terrible.
No, and my was it Charles Barkley? Terrible.
Terrible, man. Terrible. Bro, that was so bad. I felt so bad for Arkansas when they had to play y'all in 2019. I was like, bro, why are y'all even
can
they
just forfeit?
Bro, they put that on the SEC network, bro.
That was petty.
Bro, they should have just put that as a blackout game, bro. Because nobody was gonna watch that. That was trash, bro. Trash, man. That was horrible, man. I was like, yo, if we couldn't stop them, what you think Arkansas gonna do? And don't nobody want to see that. That team is trash, man. I think they was winless at the time, bro. I'm like, bro, that's horrible, man. Horrible, man. Like, but nah, man.
Who you got?
Nah, man. Who you got?
Who I got?
Well, I thought you was gonna say it first. Let's say you go first.
I can. So I'm gonna say the same thing I've been saying. You could go in a number.
I said, if you know Barkley. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Get to a big win in San Antonio. But hey, that's all right though. That's right up my alley, man. So I will definitely be in San Antonio. Hey, Golden Boot, y'all got any media days in San Antonio coming up? Because I really want to go. I will definitely apply for some credentials. Yeah, I definitely apply for some. If we got a media day in San Antonio, oh yes, I will be in the Alamo. Nah, man. But go ahead, man. So we close this thing down, man.
So I mean, you could go probably like 3 or 4 different teams. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like I've been kind of on the up and ups with teams. I don't try to go the same traditional team every time because I feel like this year's just gonna be different. And you know what? I'm high on Cam Ward, man. I'm going Miami. I think Cam Ward makes another big
Bro,
leap as a quarterback, bro. I'm
bro,
telling you.
how you gonna do me like this, man?
We can have
I,
the same team. That's okay. They got people picking Miami too.
how you gonna have the same team as me, man? I was finna start this whole thing about how I thought Miami was gonna be the team to beat this year.
They
And then
are.
you're
And you
still my
well
team, man.
look, I mean, since we both have the same point of view, I feel you might have a better in-depth explanation to be able to give the viewers, all of our awesome viewers, why we feel like this. Why do we feel like Miami is gonna pull out the ACC this year?
All right, so here's my expertise answer for why Miami is going to win. All right, so you got Florida State coming off this crazy season, man, and then Miami was up and down, right? But as I mentioned when I was talking about Miami earlier, they finally got those 3-4 recruiting cycles in, right? So now those guys are sophomores, juniors, and seniors, right? So now those players are really good, man. And I think they're just missing a good trigger man. And that's one thing about Cam Ward, man. You know he can pass the ball, right? The biggest thing about Cam Ward is that his decision making. That's the only thing that has
Hero
to.
ball.
Yeah, that's it, man. You don't need to make the play. You got to make the play that matters at that time. And I think that you have a guy like Mario Cristobal, who's just missing that quarterback, man. One thing about Miami when they were at their heyday, they had quarterbacks that made really good decisions most of the time. You sit there and you have guys like Bernie Kosar, right? He was there. You had guys
Ken
like Ken
Dorsey.
Dorsey, right? You had guys like gosh, what's the guy's name? He was man. Jacoby something.
Oh,
But
you talking
he,
about Ja'Cory Harris, I think it
yeah, there we
was.
go. There we
Yeah.
go. So
Ja'Cory Harris was nice.
yeah, exactly. So you got quarterbacks that can make decisions, right? You got a lot of talent, and the only thing you got to do is not turn the ball over. And I really think Cam Ward is one of those quarterbacks that can really change the game, man. I think he's my dark horse for the Heisman when we get into the Heisman breakdown. But expect him to be on my dark horse list as far as the Heisman is concerned because the hype around if Miami gets to the college football playoffs is going to be absolutely crazy. Like it's going to be nuts because them, they're going to be like, "Oh, we're back, and everything." Like, okay, that's cool, right? But at the same time, being back isn't getting to the ACC championship game and then getting
No.
dog walked by Clemson. It's not
Mm-hmm.
getting 8-0 and then losing to Notre Dame or something. Like it's really getting to the college football playoff and really making a stand or something.
Making some
Making
noise.
making some noise, man. And I feel like if you get to the college football playoff this year, that's enough noise for you to
Mm-hmm.
start winning these recruiting battles against Florida State, against Clemson, against Alabama, right? Because you think about it, it's a lot of people coming into Florida that stealing recruits that shouldn't. There shouldn't be a Florida guy wanting to go to Alabama. I don't care. There's no reason why Amari Cooper should have went to Alabama. Jerry Judy. Like, there's no reason why these guys should want to go there. They should want to play for Miami. And that's what it was back in the day. They let nobody go. If you left Miami or Florida, whatever, you left because you probably weren't going to play much there. But if
Mm-hmm.
you really wanted to play in Miami, you really knew what it was, man. So that's my expertise, man. I think Miami's really about to take a step forward this year, and Cam Ward is going to be the linchpin for them starting something new. And Mario Cristobal is not going anywhere unless he gets fired. So he's a homer. You ain't got to worry about him. That's why he left Oregon. He wanted to go back home. So there you go. So we got some comments here. Very interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You like Miami, man. I do.
We
I do.
we really we
Mushrooms.
oh
I
man,
don't know.
dude. Dude, we've been talking about Cam Ward since last year, bro. And a full off season and a nice fresh program. What? I don't know about that. Look, in the past years when you had Van Dyke, I'd say, yeah, fake news. Cam Ward's the real deal, bro.
He's
Like
the real deal, man.
you seen what he did last year. Now he goes to a program where he's got more talent around him, a more
Yeah.
solid coaching staff, a fresh
Yeah.
start, and he's probably had a lot more time to be able to develop on his passing game, on his decision making. Dude, they've got good talent. They've been killing it, bro. Like in recruiting.
Bro, like you give Cam Ward offensive talent, he gonna ball. He balled everywhere. He balled at Incarnate Word, which got him the scholarship to go to Washington State, right? And then he balled at Washington State and was about to be a third, fourth round draft pick. So now you give him a chance to play on a big stage in a big conference with more talent. Come on, man. Imagine what he can do. If he don't ball out, that's on him. But he got the tools right now to ball.
You got the talent. You have the coaching staff and the situation you need. This is the year. There's a reason why he went there. Because he felt like this was going to be his best chance for draft stock and to be able to win. Dang, that's some shots, bro.
So who's a Dollar Tree?
No, they talking about Miami. Because I brought up the recruiting and how good they've been doing at recruiting.
I mean, bro, I don't think it's a Dollar Tree, bro. I just think nobody want to go to Miami right now, bro. Nobody want to go to Miami right now. Like nobody want to go there as much as they used to. Now they kind of restoring.
The brand's different. Now
like you gotta rebuild what Miami was before people start wanting to come there in droves, right? Don't get me wrong. You can have the OGs of the team, the Blades family, who's Miami personified. Everybody in their family go to Miami. You can have Michael Irvin. You can have Ed Reed. Like you can do whatever. Edrin James, Clinton Portis.
Jeremy Shockey,
Jonathan Vilman, Ray Lewis. You can have all them guys come down there. Nobody cares until they start winning again. You know, don't matter. So you can say the Dollar Tree all you want, man, but nobody's gonna want to come there until you start winning, man. That's a simple thing, man. Just like NCAA football, when we get the game back, bro. When we get to recruiting, ain't nobody want to go come to no Middle Tennessee State until they start winning like 8 championships in a row. Guess what? Your prestige goes up, and then you start getting recruits, man. Simple thing, man. That's all. Like I said, NIL is important. It really is. But at the same time, man, you know you got to play. You know, so let's see. He's there.
Dude, Van Dyke is not – that's not even a comparison.
Who said that?
He's not even –
Who said
Van
that?
Dyke is not even in the same ballpark as Cam Ward. That's a joke. That's a joke. We need to find out who said that. Like, I want to see who said that.
Because who said Van Dyke was the real deal?
Bro, that's hashtag disrespectful, bro.
Disrespect.
Van Dyke is not even in the same ballpark as Cam Ward.
Van Dyke is not on
not
the
a bad quarterback by any means, but he is not Cam Ward, bro.
Nah, man, that's disrespectful. Nah, bro. Vandy guy said that, man.
Well, that's very questionable. But hey,
man,
he's gonna show y'all though. He's gonna show y'all because if anybody thinks Van Dyke is in the same conversation as him, y'all talking about magic mushrooms. That's magic mushrooms.
That's way more magic mushrooms. That's way more magic mushrooms than anything, man. But hey, man, that is the show, man. That is the show. We are having fun, having a blast doing this, man. Shout out to College Football Dogs, first and foremost, man, for allowing us this platform, one, and for letting us do our show on Sundays. Let us have in this spot. We really like it, man. It works out for us. We're in different places. Him, Louisiana, me, Texas. So it works out. We're on the same time frame, so it's not too late for him, not too early for me. Same thing. So we appreciate those guys over there giving us this slot, man. But before we get up out of here, anything you gotta say, man?
Yeah, man. First of all, you gave shout out to them. Shout out to all the guys in the comments, man. Golden Boot, Andrew, Chris, all y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for the feedback. We love the interaction. We like the banter. We like some of these controversial discussions, stuff like that. So shout out to you guys. Anybody that's watching on Dogs TV, YouTube, anything like that, man, shout out to all y'all. Thank you so much for watching. If you are on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment. And if you are already subscribed, don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss a beat. We're also on Twitch, X, Instagram. If you want to just listen to straight audio, we're on all the audio platforms, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all that good stuff. College Football 25 launches tomorrow. So whether it'll be tomorrow or the day after, we will have some live content.
Tomorrow?
Yep. If anybody has the deluxe edition, which I made sure to get, so we get early access.
I thought it was the 16th, bro.
No. As of tomorrow night.
Damn.
Tomorrow at 4:00, supposedly. But I did secure that. So in the next couple of days, definitely be looking out for that.
Fire, bro.
Definitely be looking out for that. We're gonna be doing some online head-to-head. Probably do some online
news.
It's gonna be legit. But definitely, shout out to everybody watching, man. Shout out to all the feedback, all the interaction, man. We wouldn't be here without any of you guys. So definitely strap up for the ride, man. It's gonna be a real fun ride. Football's right around the corner, man. When we get into the regular season, that's over with. We're going straight to the moon.
Yep, of course, man. Of course, man. Of course. I couldn't say it better myself, man. Let's see. Check out your countdown clock for sure, man.
Yeah.
Okay, nah, man. We definitely gonna be streaming that, man. We excited about that one. I am. I wasn't at first, but I definitely am now, man. After seeing the trailer, some of the stuff that we're gonna see, as far as the crowd noise and things like that, man. I'm looking forward to that. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. Hopefully, Dynasty mode is as immersive as it was. The last game that I really enjoyed, 12. I like the coaching carousel, man. So hopefully that's actually on there. So your assistant, you can see your tree grow as a head coach. So that's really something I want to see, man. So one more comment before we get up out of here. I'll use.
Hey.
All right.
We're gonna run it, bro.
Yeah, man. We definitely looking forward to playing you guys head to head, man. Online Dynasty. We can run that too. So we'll see, man. It's a whole lot of things we can do, man. A lot of things we can do now with social media. So we're all looking forward to helping not only use college football 25 as a vehicle to grow, but we're also looking forward to collabing with people, man. So we expect it to be really cool, man. So but let's get out of here so we won't overrun. I'm Cam. It's Brandon. This is the Football Frame of Mind podcast. Signing off.
Peace.
Peace.